There is something more powerful than revenge, more devastating than words, more cutting than confrontation. It's making someone invisible, erasing them from the stage of your life, not with hate, but with indifference. Not shouting, not fighting, just silence. And that kills them inside. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. Let's talk about this for a moment. Hate still requires energy. It means you're still giving someone your mental space, your emotional bandwidth. Indifference, that's when you have truly closed the door. When someone tries to control you, insult you, or diminish you, whether it's a toxic friend, an ex, a jealous relative, or even a colleague, they rely on one thing: your reaction. Because your reaction feeds them, your anger fuels them, your attention validates them. When you remove that reaction completely, when you make them invisible, you're cutting the very oxygen that keeps them alive in your world. Why this hurts them more than confrontation? When you engage with toxic people, you're telling them, you still matter to me. Even negative attention is still attention. But when you act as if they don't exist, not pretending, but truly living as if they are irrelevant, you're delivering the one thing they cannot handle: irrelevance. They wanted drama, you gave them silence. They wanted to be villain in your story, you took them out of the book. They wanted to push your buttons, you removed the buttons entirely. It's not revenge, it's evolution. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine once had a coworker who constantly mocked him, always trying to provoke a reaction in front of others. One day, he decided to stop responding, not even with a smirk or an eye roll. He just kept doing his work, answering only when necessary, and emotionally disconnected. Within a month, that coworker stopped trying. Why? Because the show doesn't go on when the audience leaves. The psychology of indifference. Psychology calls this the extinction burst effect. When you stop giving attention to a behavior, the person will often escalate at first, try harder to get a reaction. But if you stay consistent, their attempts fade because there is no reward. Humans have three core emotional needs in social interactions. 1. Recognition, being noticed. 2. Validation, feeling that their words or actions matter. 3. Control, the ability to influence another's emotions or behavior. When you make someone invisible, you remove all three. They are forced to sit with the reality that they no longer have power over you. And for some, that's unbearable. Why this is about you, not them? Here is the key. This is not about pushing them or punishing them. It's about protecting your peace. When you ignore someone with bitterness still in your heart, you're not truly free. You're just playing a silent war. Real detachment is when they no longer have the ability to trigger you. Not because you're holding it in, but because you have healed to the point that their world bounces off like air. You stop trying to prove yourself. You stop justifying yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop explaining your worth to those who are blind to it. And you start using that energy to build yourself. The power of walking away. Walking away is not weakness, it is self respect. It is refusing to wrestle in the mud with pigs. You both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. When you walk away, you're not saying, I'm scared of you. You're saying, I value my time and energy too much to waste it here. True strength is not measured in how loudly you can shout. It is measured in how calmly you can move forward without needing to shout at all. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, often faced political enemies and personal betrayals. His strategy: silence. He didn't waste time with public arguments or personal attacks. He let his actions, leadership, and legacy speak. Today, his enemies' names are forgotten, but his words are read worldwide. How to master indifference without bitterness. Here are step by step methods. 1. Detach emotionally before detaching physically. If you block them but still think about them all day, you haven't made them invisible. You have just put them behind a glass window. Work on removing their emotional presence first. 2. Replace reaction with redirection. Channel the energy you would use to argue into building something: your body, your business, your skills. Every time you feel like responding, create instead. 3. Silence your inner court. Stop rehearsing arguments in your head. You don't need to win imaginary debates. You've already won by moving on. 4. Let success speak louder than words. The most powerful reply is a life so full of peace, purpose, and progress that their existence becomes irrelevant. 5. Practice mental unfollowing, not just on social media, but in your thoughts. Don't reply their actions. Don't check what they're doing. Don't let curiosity reopen old doors. So, why silence is louder than words? Silence is not empty, it's full of answers. It tells them, you no longer control me. You no longer matter to me. You no longer exist in my narrative. And this is my story, and you no longer exist in my story. It's not about pride, it's about choosing peace over poison. And here is the truth: when you stop feeding them with your attention, they will either shrink away or find someone else to drain. Either way, you win. Making someone invisible doesn't mean you wish them harm. It means you wish yourself freedom and peace. It means you're done giving them power over your emotions. It means you have stepped into a higher level of living, where your energy is spent on growth, not grudges. So the next time someone tries to pull you into their chaos, don't fight, don't defend, don't explain. Just smile, turn away, and live your life. Because the moment you stop acknowledging them, that's the moment their influence dies. They don't drown when you walk away. They drown when you stop throwing them ropes. Stop feeding the fire, and it burns out. Starve their ego, and it dies. Nourish your own soul, and you rise. Peace and love, Hamza.